Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Active Hobo podcast. We are joined by Preen Queen, aka Hayley, today. I think I've been trying to get you on this for longer than anyone in my living memory, for a very good reason. And I'm glad you're as busy as you are with the most intense race schedule I've ever seen in my entire life, because there's so much more to talk about now. I'm dying to get into the weeds. Hayley, thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The brief moment in your life you're not racing, it is definitely a stars-aligned moment.
Yeah, I've got some time. Got some time in South Africa.
Amazing. In South Africa, yeah, it's very brief banter on what you've been up to. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. So as much as I want to do lifetime Grand Prix America and the amazing results that you've got there, I mean, there's just so much to unpack. It would be criminal to not start very briefly at the beginning. Allegedly, you were a runner first, some say. You've landed up in this world that you find yourself in, at the very sharp end of the field, as a South African, as a woman. It's an incredible story. How did it start?
I was a cross-country runner throughout school. My dad coaching me, won multiple province and Western Cape titles and national titles in cross-country. And then basically turned to trail running when I left high school. My dad was a top trail runner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love being on the mountains. And then went to varsity. Well, I suppose when I left school, I took a gap year basically for sport, for running, for triathlon, because I then went to triathlon world champs, cross-tri, off-road, because I'm allergic to road running. And then
That's why you've never been injured, because you didn't go on the road.
Yeah, maybe. And then some horse riding as well, because horse riding has been part of my life.
You're being very modest. It's not some horse riding. I know that is the one thing I know.
So, yeah, I've competed internationally as well for horse riding, or won international competition, but national level my whole life. But then I went to UCT and I joined the UCT cycling club. And basically we went to USA, which is the student national champs. It's 5 stages across 3 days. I ended up winning every stage, all 5 stages. And the yellow jersey, green jersey, polka dot jersey. So we had some pretty strong guys in the UCT cycling club. And they said, okay, well, you should maybe take this a little bit more seriously, because before that I had cycled for triathlon for the Exterior series, but it was mostly like middle of Jan to middle of March. So after the holidays started until cycle tour, I would train. I would train so hard for cycle tour, and that was it. So then when USA came, I trained a little bit more until June, and then one of the years we did DC, so I trained a little bit more, and then yeah, that's basically how my cycling started. I just did a little bit more cycling, less running.
And again, just for anyone that doesn't know you, that growing up, a phase of your life, Cape Town, Hout Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
Hout Bay my entire life.
Which school?
Crinnandale Primary in Hout Bay to begin with. And then I went to Herschel for high school.
Okay. Supportive of your athletic aspirations, good running dynamics there.
So
were you like a normal kid in school, or were you just like all in on sport and didn't have much time to go and socialize and do all the other silly nonsense?
I didn't socialize much, but my academics were good.
Okay.
I loved
kid.
I loved Herschel because I think they really pushed you. They didn't have athletics, but they had cross-country running. But I would do the league cross-country as well, which is club, so like outside of school. And that's where it was really competitive.
Okay.
I would have fun in school's cross-country races and try race the guys.
Is it? And often pipped a few of them, most probably. And good academics as well. I mean, socially, are you just so absorbed into what you're doing that there's just no time for that, or you're just not fussed with it?
Kind of a bit of both.
Okay.
Between, like I played a bit of hockey as well, and then horse riding shows on the weekend and cross-country running races on the weekend. There just wasn't much time. But I would socialize with my sporting people.
Okay.
I think that's still how it is these
Dad
days.
was a prolific runner, so there's some good genetics there. Mom?
top horse rider.
Ah, okay. I see the picture now.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I got the horse riding from my mom and the running and cycling from my
It also
dad.
makes it cool for them then to support the to and fro, the different races, because they're frothing for it as well. So it's not like, oh, got to go.
My dad he comes to every epic and is my support at every epic.
Rad. I need to do an interview the parent series. Are you a better runner than your dad?
He's won more races than me. I kind of ended, I think, before I got to the really cool races.
And Mom, can you pip on
Like
horse?
Half Bay Trail Challenge, I don't know if you know of that. That was kind of my dad's race that he invented. And he's won the puffer.
He's won the puffer.
Yeah.
What?
I think he won it twice or something. Now it's in a marathon or half marathon. He's got permanent number 1.
Damn.
Because he won that.
Okay, that's very serious. Okay, so if you do beat your dad, it's...
He was like the trail runner.
And Mom,
of Cape Town.
Is she that serious with the horses as well?
She was. She also competed for South Africa when she was younger. Then
I would never want to sit at your dinner table. So what do you do?
No, she's a little bit...
She's on some 10 on chappies.
Next goal is sub 9.
I don't know.
Yeah, she competes. She doesn't want to compete at the highest level anymore. But then I just steal her good horses.
Okay, good.
And she has fun. And she helps me out with the horse riding because I can't ride every day anymore.
Like technically that kind of stuff, or helps you out as in...
Works my horse.
Okay. Oh, yes. Candace rides horse. I kind of know what that... I get it. What's your horse's name?
Dunmore.
Dunmore. Any specific meaning behind that, or?
Voitskirch Dunmore is his full name. He's from Namibia.
Okay.
He's an import from Namibia.
Does that mean anything, that name? I can't even try and...
I don't know. Maybe something German. I don't think so.
That competitive nature of your parents, I mean, they obviously understand what it means and takes to compete, sacrifice time, social life, nutrition, discipline. Did that form and shape the Prix Queen of today, or is that going to happen in spite of that? How much of that influence is becoming an elite athlete?
I think so.
Being in the home of that culture.
Like, my parents always supported me, and no matter what sport. My dad was my coach for running, but he never ever necessarily pushed me. I think he pushed me the perfect amount. But he actually coached myself and a couple of friends, all for free. Like, he didn't get paid, purely because he wanted me to have company. He wanted me to have fun while training.
Okay.
And yeah, like if we ran in the rain, we would go get ice creams afterwards. It was something. Yeah, and we had such a nice little running group that it was always fun.
Okay, interesting.
And that was always his goal.
Was there ever
to have fun
for you to be in a couch potato?
No,
in that
never. He had to actually tell me to slow down.
Okay. Interesting.
He kept a whole Excel spreadsheet. I mean, before Training Peaks or...
Okay.
I don't think he even knows about that. But he logged all my kilometers, like, I don't know, distance of speed work or percentage and this and that. But he had to tell me to slow down. I
think for anyone who's I didn't grow up in a family environment that had any of that at all. And you can go and find it in my before pictures if you want to go and troll me and scroll back through my Facebook history. And then as you fall in love with just exercise, I wouldn't say competing, there is this like, shit, imagine you grew up in a home that had those tendencies. Like, but then there's also, it was cool to be able to be normal as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I don't know, it's
but
interesting.
I think it also came from my grandpa on my dad's side. He was also a top sports person, running or race walking. But he, he was a proper runner. And I mean, sometimes if my dad was away when I was in school and I needed someone to take me training, my grandpa would take me and we would go to the Constantia cricket fields. And like, I would do my speed work and he would warm up on like half a lap and then do his 100-meter sprints. This is when he's like 75 years old or something. And then cool down, but he would be there, he would take me, maybe time me.
Rad. Good memories.
Yeah.
I hope you got pictures of all of this so we can layer in the B-roll, because that's trying to like imagine it. That's very good to understand. It's nice to see that smile on your face. It's a very specific smile, so it's definitely warm, cozy memories. Varsity, you start competing, there's signs of something coming there. Before that moment, what was teenage Hayley's vision for herself? Did you see yourself as the president of the country, putting a South African flag on the moon?
I think I always saw myself going to the Olympics.
Okay.
At first it was for maybe horse riding, but just needed more cash for that. So I knew that was never going to be an option. Then it was maybe running, but the only running kind of at the Olympics is track. And also I just knew that wasn't for me. I don't enjoy that. Like I say, I'm allergic to road running, kind of same thing.
Fair enough.
I suppose the road running at Olympics as well. One thing I maybe should have gone to Olympics for is modern pentathlon, because they had horse riding.
Okay.
I think the horse riding has stopped,
Okay.
but those horse riders are beyond useless. And then triathlon, but it's also, again, like normal road triathlon, and that
Okay.
wasn't for me. And then when I started in the cycling, I was like, this could be it.
Okay.
But obviously, the other goals. But I think initially when I was in school, my goal or my dream was to go study in America, study medicine. I had this massive dream. I don't think it was very realistic.
He's studying medicine coming.
Studying medicine somewhere where I could horse ride and get a scholarship for running. I mean, that's not necessarily realistic at all.
I don't know. I mean, there's varsities that give people bursaries for, I know someone who got
But maybe horse riding at the same time is not.
The horse riding would be very very wealthy benefactor that has horses that you could ride.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a.
Then I went on exchange in grade 10 to America.
Okay.
And I hated it.
Oh, really?
I think I hated the people.
Where in America? Because state does make a big difference. Okay. What didn't you like about the people?
Just, I don't know. There was quite a bit. I just didn't like it. So I was like, no, I am not going
to... You realize the irony of that coming from a Cape Townian, huh?
Cape Townians are the best. So then I was like, I'm not going to America.
The irony of where you're at right now. That is hilarious.
And then when it came to applying to varsity, I was like, UCT. I love Cape Town. I'm not leaving Cape Town. To get into medicine in UCT is very difficult. So I don't even know if I actually applied, even though it's still my dream to be a surgeon.
Okay.
So then I thought the next closest thing is biomedical engineering.
Okay.
But the only place you can do biomedical engineering as an undergrad in South Africa is at Wits. And not a chance was I going to Wits or anywhere in Joburg. So you could do any undergrad, like engineering undergrad, and then do that as postgrad at UCT. And now when I started this, I was not a cyclist. And I mean, cycling is a good couple of hours every day. It's hard work. Running, it's much easier. It's less hours. You could maybe be a runner and an engineer or studying engineering at the same time. So that all started well. And then, cycling took over. And then I remember having engineering tests ending at 8 p.m. and then I would go cycle afterwards.
Mad. What was the moment where you're like, I'm going to be a professional cyclist? Is that in varsity?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The end of that stage race that you won?
Not even then. I think, so that would have been, I started varsity in 2018. Maybe 2020.
Okay.
Had some good results. And then 2021, it was my first year elite. And I ended up winning road nationals.
Okay.
Complete outsider.
Before that, you've decided you want to be, this is it? Or is that a...
No, I was still just racing.
Did you realize you were as good as you were? Did you know you were that good? Or were you kind of like, no, I'll see what happens with the results?
I thought it was good, but I thought being professional was like a big goal.
Okay. So you didn't necessarily see yourself, because having sat with the immense privilege of being able to sit with a couple really high-performing athletes, it blows my mind how many of them, mentality, self-belief, after this happened, then I believed, then I knew. It's like they really don't know until something happens, and then it's like, oh, I actually am. You already are. So is that a similar thing?
I think for me, I was still studying engineering. Everyone I was competing against, they had been at the top level for so many years, and not necessarily studying or working. That was their thing. And I was like, I didn't even know the space. Like, how does it work to be professional? How do you get paid for this? Yeah, I didn't know.
Just riding your bike.
So I was just riding my bike. I joined a team. They kind of paid for races, which was a massive thing for me.
Who's your first team?
Reach for Rainbows.
Okay.
It was called Reach for Rainbows.
Reach for Rainbows.
Yeah.
You're going with Reach for Rainbows.
And it was great. They really supported me. I won road nationals with them, which was amazing. That was a dream. And then from that, it was when kind of shortlisted for Olympics. Meant to be 2020, but then 2021. And that kind of disrupted my engineering studies from there on.
Talk me through that. Because, I mean, this is the life dream, and now all of a sudden it's on the door.
Because I had no idea this would happen. And then basically to go to the Olympics, you need to be racing in Europe. Because road racing in South Africa is not in a great space. And it's very, very different. So then I was trying to get into a team in Europe. So I took a leave of absence from varsity for like the first semester or something to try help. That was very difficult. I don't actually even know what I ended up doing. But yeah, that delayed it or extended my degree by almost a whole year because of the way the courses work. And then
that Europe that you mentioned having to go and do Olympics, is that a CSA you have to have raced in Europe, or is that you saying like, no, chance I need to race in Europe? Okay, it's not like a rule or a qualifying criteria. Okay.
I don't think I even ended up going, but I came back to studying, but then kind of left my whole group I was studying with, so it just became harder. Engineering is very much teamwork.
Okay.
And then 2022, I went to Europe for a couple of months, joined a team there. So then 2023, I think I was purely on the road for the whole year, kind of joined a team based in Belgium, moving between Belgium and the UK because of visa issues.
Yeah. The Achilles heel of any South African trying to get abroad.
So engineering kind of...
And the Olympics?
Then the next goal was 2024.
So that previous Olympic opportunity didn't materialize?
No, and I was an outsider. And
okay. So made the shortlist.
Yeah.
Installed the belief it can be done.
Yes, exactly.
Didn't go.
So then I really believed 2024, and then that didn't work out. My parents had tickets booked to Paris because we were confident. We appealed, nothing happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a difficult subject we can get into, but I don't think that's not necessarily the time for it. Podcast on its own. 24, well, let me let you continue to navigate that, because your European focus becomes very much local for a period of time. What's that how do you land up being there predominantly and coming back to racing here?
So I raced with this team called Torelli in 2022. Actually, I raced 2022 for them. I did a race in Belgium, didn't go very well. Straight into racing there was really difficult. Then we went to a race, and we raced at Mont Ventoux. It's really cool. Ended up 21st or something.
Okay.
UCI 1.1 or something, quite a high ranked race. And I actually saw results the other day, and the girl who came fifth was Clara Koppenberg, and she raced Gravel Burn last year. I raced her now at Unbound.
Oh, nice.
And I'm on another level to her now, so it's just quite cool to see my progress.
Okay.
Also, my one teammate, maybe Clara even came second or something, but my one teammate at that race ended up signing for a World Tour team because maybe she came fifth or something. But that was an amazing experience. And then I went on to a race in Isle of Man. It was like a stage race with my team. I ended up winning on the last stage and taking the overall title, so the whole race, which was really cool. And then I went straight from there to Commonwealth Games.
Okay.
And I had a really good race at Commonwealth Games. Really cool. But that was kind of the end of my European kind of season. So I went back to this team in 2023. Spent good 6 months there. Had some bad luck, a lot of crashes. Very low budget team. So you crash, no support. Like, don't even have bandages to put on you. Break your bike. It was my own bike, all my own equipment. So huge expense. We had a team house, but we weren't getting paid or anything. And I went to go do a race in the UK, crashed, got concussed. And then they wanted me to come back and race, and I was in a bad place mentally. So I actually changed my flights to come home early. It was only 2 weeks early, but I think if I'd stayed there an extra 2 weeks, I would have actually given up cycling. So I came back in a terrible place. And now...
Cycling related? Just the performance?
Yeah.
Things not going well?
Yeah.
I had a plan, it's not materializing?
Yeah.
So you're quite hard on yourself?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
And then because I was in a bad place mentally, I wasn't getting results. So now to try to get into a team for the next year would be really difficult. And I said to myself, no matter what, I'm not going back to that team. I probably would have been able to get in, but I just knew it was a bad place for me. So I'm glad I said that to myself, because end of the year comes, you don't have another team opportunity. And I could have gone back, but then probably same situation again. So instead, Matt was racing the Lifetime Grand Prix in the US. I knew about it. I just applied. Had no idea I would get in, because only back then 30 ladies and 30 guys get selected.
I know this. We are going to explain Lifetime Grand Prix.
So now,
anyone that doesn't know, because super frothers like you that race at this magnificent level, we hear Lifetime Grand Prix, but I don't think everyone understands that there's only 30 people that get selected. You apply,
so worldwide.
get selected. Worldwide, there's only 30 males, 30 females. That includes some wild cards, the fixed number.
So the first year was 30 riders.
Okay.
From the start, 30 riders. Maybe 27 of the 30 ladies were American.
Okay.
So very much American based. It's become more international now. So I applied, didn't think anything about it.
What year are we at now?
End of 2023.
Okay.
One evening, just checking my email, I see I got selected. And I think instead of being excited, I was now nervous, because now I was like, how do I fund this? Like, there's 7 races in the US, going back and forth, flights, accommodation. It's really expensive.
And in your life right now, you're now living back here.
I'm in Hout Bay, Cape Town,
in Hout Bay,
South Africa.
you are I think most Cape Townians will be very aware of the image of you in a freewheel kit on a specialized in the local scene. So it's at this time where we all actually got to see a bit of Hayley. That's when this happens.
Yes.
Just to overlay that with any of the Varleys or the Cape Townians that know you.
Then,
so I didn't know this was happening, that overlap. So that's good to know.
Then it was very difficult to try get sponsors to go to the US, because South African sponsors were like, they're not going to get exposure over there. Fast forward to 2024, Feb, I was racing Tankwa in prep for Epic, because I've done Epic about 5 times now. And my dad was chatting to someone, and somehow we managed to get Squirt on board, which was amazing, because Squirt is very big. It's South African, so very big here, very big in the US. So it was actually the perfect opportunity. So the plan was for me to race for Freewheel in South Africa and Squirt in America. So I go to the US, now still on a very, very small budget, tiny budget.
That is a miracle opportunity that just happened there.
Yeah.
Like, just by the way,
They made it possible.
I had no idea Squirt was, I know they're big dogs locally. They're like market leaders here, but I had no idea they were so big in the States. Like I have this passion project of South Africans do such great things globally, like we just don't know. And that was another moment. Like, who would have thought that a brand like that makes a product like that could penetrate America? I would never in a million years think that's possible.
And it was the perfect...
And then can take this talent abroad. So just huge shout out to Squirt, you absolute legends.
Yes. So they made it possible. And the first race in the series was Sea Otter Classic. Now, the whole Sea Otter Festival is the biggest cycling bike festival in the world. It is crazy. And that was my first race in the US. I was just blown away. Anyway, so I flew across there like 2 weeks early, I think, because of the jet lag, like time difference.
Real thing?
I went and stayed with a friend's sister in San Jose. So I flew into San Francisco, stayed with a friend's sister in San Jose, and then I rented a car which like converted into, it had a bed in the back basically, and maybe a kitchen in the back of the car, but like a normal car.
Station wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. Please send me pictures.
Maybe I've got pictures of me in the back.
Okay.
But
I'm going to need you to go through that camera roll. We need pictures.
But I then drove to Monterey, where Sea Otter is, and at the racetrack, Laguna Raceway, Squirt rents an RV and they have a campsite there. So I parked my car there and I slept in my car at Sea Otter. I knew no one else. I met the Squirt guys there, and then luckily the one Squirt guy, Thomas from the US, he was able to feed me during the race. A mountain bike race, I think 2 laps, 55 Ks each or something. And I ended up coming 8th or 9th, like top 10. So I was very, very happy with that. My first race there. And now the next race was Unbound. And at first I was going to skip Unbound. Before I knew anything about it, I was like 320 kilometers, 200 miles. It is mad. Why would anyone do that? Because now the series is 7 races, but your top 5 count. So you can skip 2. So I was planning on skipping that. And everyone was like, you are crazy. You're getting an opportunity to race the biggest gravel race in the world. So I was like, okay. Anyway, I went there. Again, no one. Stayed in like a tiny motel. Rogan from Pletz, he was racing as well. So we kind of did everything together, which was nice to have someone else there. Thomas again fed me. There's only 2 feed zones, so he fed me during the race. I think that first race that first Unbound I came 27th, which I was still pretty happy with that. It's completely new territory for me.
27th out of everyone doing Unbound, out of all people.
So now
you have to explain that to people that don't understand that series, because you have Unbound has got hundreds of people.
All these races, they're organized by Lifetime. Lifetime is an events organization, a whole company. They organize Sea Otter, Unbound, Crush and the Tusher, Rad, Little Sugar, Big Sugar, Leadville. And then, so it's a normal race, but within the normal race, you have the Lifetime Grand Prix series. So, which
is the selected.
So I think I came 27th in the race, but maybe actually even like 13th within the series. And then your points for each race count towards your overall series. So now I think after that, I was maybe lying like 13th or 12th or something. And there's prize money to top 10. So top 10 is the goal.
Good prize money?
Yes.
Okay.
It's good prize money, but actually coming from South Africa...
Number-wise, could you give us an indication? Like ballpark, what are you getting in 10th? Considering you get an envelope here.
Last year, I think I ended 9th and it was $7,000.
Overall for the series?
Yes.
Okay, that's proper.
But I mean, the amount you put in for the whole series actually... But it's a nice bonus at the end.
You've raced internationally, so I have no reference point on what good prize money is. You're saying, based on the international exposure you've had, that's good prize money?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so, for the whole series. There's prize money for each individual race as well.
Okay.
It might have changed for the last...
First in the series, what are they getting? Ballpark. Could probably Google this.
Maybe $20,000?
Okay. And then you're getting individual along the way. So you can make some good money there.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
So then after Unbound, the next race in the series was Crush and the Tusher. And it was like a month and a half away. So I decided I was going to stay there for that extra month and a half. So I went and stayed on the East Coast with family, friends. And then I went to Boulder and stayed with a friend who I met and had like a 1-minute conversation with at the end of Unbound. Never knew her before, and she said, she's got an extra bed in Boulder, and Boulder's an incredible place. I think it's my favorite place in the US. So I went and stayed with her, And then I was making plans to go to crash in the Tush in Utah. And the week of the race, it was massive wildfires and the race was now cancelled. And now I had stayed for a month and a half, all that expense, basically for nothing. I was meant to be writing engineering exams. I'd already deferred them, but then I was going to be missing the one because they were still too early. And I changed flights. I think I landed in Cape Town at 11 p.m. and wrote an exam at 8 a.m. the next morning. It was not ideal. Then I think the next race after that was Leadville. But at the start of the year, my plan was Olympics. And Leadville and Olympics maybe didn't clash exactly dates, but too close to do both. So
even for the serial racer that does more than most do.
But also Leadville is at 3,000 meters.
Okay.
So I could not afford to go stay somewhere to acclimatize for 3 weeks beforehand. So I decided to skip Leadville. And then the next race after that was Schwamigan. Spelled Shquamigan. It's pronounced Schwamigan.
The names of these races are so cool.
That was the very short. It's a 40-mile mountain bike race over like bumpy grass hills.
Okay.
And then again from that, I was staying almost like a month and a half or 2 months for the last two races of the series. But straight after that was actually World Champs, Marathon World Champs, also in the US. So I was going to that in Snowshoe. Went to Snowshoe, was out on a ride, crashed, broke my wrist.
I remember that.
And had to fly home.
I saw you at E-City just after that. Is that period of time?
No, maybe that was
Another broken wrist time?
Yeah, I had a couple of breaks within a year.
Okay.
So this is September 2024. That was the rest of my series done. I needed surgery, had to be off the bike for 8 weeks. So obviously very disappointing because now I'd committed so much to the US and to the series, and now I couldn't finish it. And you also only counted for the series if you do the final race. Like the final race is mandatory.
Skip 2, but not the last one.
Yes. So I was out of it. So when it came to applying again, I applied. And I was like, I've got unfinished business. I need to come back. Very minimal chance that I was going to get selected because I didn't have the best results. I got top 10 at Sea Otter, but after that, I don't know. I didn't have much hope. Anyway, I got selected again. So now, same thing again, back to 2025.
I mean, 50 in the world.
But now I think the next year, so for 2025, and same as for this year, I think they were only selecting 25 overall, but 22 to begin with. So they select 22, and then after the first 2 races, they will select an extra 3 from the wild card. So the top 3 people after the first 2 races get selected or added in. So in the series, it's 25.
Okay.
Yeah, so then that was lifetime last year.
In this process, so I mean, there's 2 things that really stand out to me. One, I think a lot of people will be watching this and trying to understand. We all know like the big barrier to walking this dream road that you're on cost, particularly as South Africans, to get there to compete, let alone deriving an income, travel, like it's just, the numbers overwhelm anyone. And it's like a big question for people will be, at what point is your brand established strong enough that companies are coming on board and saying, we've got you, we're going to help you? Because there's obviously a big change there from Squirt doing you solid with what they did to get you there, but you're largely self-funding, entirely self-funding.
Yeah.
All the other stuff. That's not the case, obviously, in the last year, if I'm not mistaken.
So then for lifetime last year, 2025, I was racing for Honeycomb 226s. So Honeycomb very nicely said they would support me going to the US, but I had now made kind of some connections, actually also very minimal, but in the last now 2 years, I've got so many connections in the US, which is amazing. So I went to Sea Otter, but before start of the year, I emailed the organizers. I said, do you have any host families? Because I remember getting this email the year before to say there's a host family or there are host families who can host you for Sea Otter, but I was too late. So before we even got anything, I emailed them and asked, is there someone who can host me?
Oh, that's cool.
very nice family, very close to the race. It was ideal. So I ended up staying with them last year and this year. And they hosted the other two guys who were also racing the series this year.
Okay. Just enthusiasts, happy to help.
Yes.
Okay.
And he fed me during the race. Okay. So very, very nice family. Very grateful for that. Then at Unbound last year, I don't know, so at Unbound the year before, Rogan and I met this guy, Andrew, working in a bike shop. And we just started chatting to him. And then for Unbound last year, he was like, oh, I can help you with accommodation. We still had to pay, but we had a nice house in Emporia where Unbound is, and that's impossible to get. For the price we got it, impossible. And he had like a setup, and this other guy, Evan, was then going to feed us and mechanic for us. And
okay, so you start to network and build this support structure around yourself.
Then I also met another South African in the street before Unbound. I was wearing my South African jersey because now I had just won. Actually, before Sea Otter last year, Sea Otter's on the Thursday. We had Gravel Nationals on the Sunday in Carkloof. And I really wanted to win that title. So I raced in Carkloof on the Sunday. Won, luckily. Drove 2 hours to Durban. Flew that night and got to the US Monday evening, had Tuesday, Wednesday to try recover, and then race Sea Otter on the Thursday. Then at Sea Otter, I think I came 4th.
You joking.
So that's where it all really started for me, because then brands...
Okay, 2 questions now. So one, the question I led with, which is, at what point as a professional athlete, and this is specifically as a female, because there's this whole sub-context of female equality in sport, and through the lens of Hayley, I'm like, it is completely doable, but you've got to go for it. And yes, for any professional sportsman, there's a bit of luck, there's a bit of opportunity, put in the hard work, go for the flipping thing. Like, it is possible. What is the moment? Is it national title? Is it a result at Otter? Is it just lucky that you met the guys from Honeycomb and,
I think last year everything just happened at a really good time and everything just worked out. So Honeycomb supporting me and having a proper support structure was amazing. Like for Epic, I didn't actually race Epic necessarily as part of their team. They were part sponsor because I'm the only lady, had to combine with someone else. But just the support from them made it so much easier. And I think just being able to focus on racing meant I could actually perform. So that's a
very good point. So you now can be that person that is just locked in.
Yes.
And I can just focus on being the best athlete I can. So, until this point,
still not necessarily getting a salary, but everything is covered. Bikes from Honeycomb, but also from eCity Cycles, ECC in town. They supported me.
Takes a village.
And it was also thanks to ECC that I've now got more support, because then Charles from ECC said to me at the Sea Otter Festival at the expo, I must go chat to the brands I was riding. So Factor, Eastern, POC. And I got supported by POC, even though I had no contract for the whole year. Supported by them. Now I'm with them this year.
What does supported mean? Gear? Bit of money?
I could get any helmets, any...
Okay. All just minusing off the spreadsheet of things that you've got to fund. Okay. It's not easy, eh?
And it's just also knowing more people, and then you've got sponsors there, like got sponsors in the US, so more people are willing to help.
Okay.
Factor wasn't at Sea Otter, but I think I was the highest Factor. I wasn't an athlete then, but highest result on a Factor bike, which then helped. And now I've signed with Factor Racing for this year.
Okay.
But so then went to Unbound, had more help, like the mechanics, support staff.
Getting to Unbound is a shifter, right? There's that 4th Nationals. you feeling that wind in your sails and the brands are like...
Yes, but quite a big thing. Actually, I got back from Sea Otter and a week later I crashed and broke my collarbone.
Throw that in there.
And this is 5 weeks before Unbound.
Okay.
So not ideal. My surgeon who operated on my wrist in the September beforehand, because it was 8 weeks off the bike, he knew how much I wanted to race, and he's operated on many cyclists. He knew I really just wanted to cycle. He said, no, next time you crash, just break your collarbone. It's much easier. You can be on the bike the next day. Anyway, so I crashed not far from Constantiusberg, went straight there. He met me in the emergency room, and I was like, I did it.
I mean, what are the chances? Goodness gracious.
But actually, the more worrying thing was I landed my hip, and I almost thought I'd broken my hip. I couldn't walk.
Okay.
So my collarbone, easy to fix, surgery straight away. Can move it straight away after that. But my hip actually had me off the bike for a couple of extra days. But I think I was off the bike for 5 days. And then I got back on the trainer, and then I got back to riding outside, and I was determined to race Unbound. But 3.5 weeks after the crash was raced at the Sun in Joburg. Raced. I just couldn't wear a pack over my shoulder. So there's pictures actually. I've got the one strap under my arm, the other strap over my shoulder. And fine. And then went from there to Unbound. So not the best prep. I think Unbound then I maybe just missed out on top 10. I was top 20 somewhere. But maybe just around 10th in the Lifetime Grand Prix. I'm not exactly sure. But now with my 4th place at Sea Otter, which had me 3rd in the series, and another, whatever my Unbound result was, I think I was 5th overall after Unbound, which then the next race after that was Leadville. So now I was like, well, I think actually again, I was going to skip Leadville because I was like, I can't afford to go somewhere for 3 weeks in Colorado to acclimatize. And this is where I was very lucky. I was standing in the street before Unbound wearing my SA jersey. And this guy, he's like, oh, you're South African? So I said, yes. And he said, oh, we're also South African. We now live in Chicago. And after Unbound, because it's like a big race, the year before we had gone to New York City for a couple of days. We were actually going to Chicago to just explore, like 2 days, 3 days off the bike. And he ended up hosting us. The most amazing family. His name is Francois. He's lived in Chicago for I don't know how many years now.
Francois in Chicago. Can't script this shit.
And it's literally just from wearing my SA jersey at the right time at a coffee shop.
Always wear your SA jersey off the bike.
And yeah, he ended up hosting us in Chicago, and then we were talking about Leadville, and I was like, I'm not going to do Leadville. Now this is start of June. Leadville is mid-August. I was like, I just can't afford to. And then he said, oh, we'll be there. We're renting a house in Breckenridge which is close to Leadville, for like 3 or 4 weeks. You can come stay with us. So I think I stayed with him in Breckenridge for 2 weeks.
Francois, you legend.
And then he actually booked me my own little tiny house. There are these tiny houses in Leadville. It's great for the week of Leadville.
Okay.
So thanks to him, it was all possible. I went and raced Leadville. Crazy experience racing up to 3,800 meters. It's starting at like 3,000 meters. But yeah, thanks to Francois, thanks to another connection.
Yeah.
So.
Gotta love the community, eh? People just.
It is amazing.
Purely for the sake of.
And then the next race was Schwarm again. I met someone at Unbound who then had a connection, like I could stay with them and had more of a support structure. So another very nice family or guys. Went from Schwarm again, went back to Boulder to stay with Leah. And then again, straight after Schwarm again, I was riding in Boulder on my gravel bike on the road, turned a corner, there was some gravel. I think I tried to correct it. I shouldn't have. I should have just committed to my line, crashed. Immediately moved my wrists, and I was like, my wrists are fine, but I was quite sore. Started riding back to the house, and it just got worse and worse. I couldn't like hold the handlebars. Now the next week, this is exactly a week before Little Sugar, the fifth out of 6 races of Lifetime Grand Prix. Little Sugar is 100 kilometers of mountain bike single track.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. So the next day I got on the bike. I could kind of ride the mountain bike, but I couldn't do anything rough. But I could move my wrist completely. So I was like, nothing's broken. It will get better. Anyway, it was not getting better. Eventually, I now went to Bentonville, where Little Sugar and Big Sugar, the last 2 races, they're a week apart. Stayed with another family that never met, arrived at their house, a connection of a connection. He works in the ER, so he like kind of looked at it, went for x-rays. The x-rays came back clear, but I still knew something was wrong. Anyway, I raced Little Sugar. Had to take some painkillers, but any kind of technical little drop I had to get off and walk. So I think I ended up coming 13th, or I don't know. And a race that should have been one of my best results in the series, being like a proper mountain bike race, was now one of my worst results. So it wasn't great for the overall series. The next week was Big Sugar, which is 100-mile gravel. There were tornado warnings, so it was shortened to 50 miles. So perfect for me. If it was cancelled, it would have been even better. I did what I could, but I could literally barely hold the handlebars. Now I'm racing with a brace because it kind of moved the pressure. And in that race, I came down to a sprint and with myself and Hannah Otto, and I was lying 7th. And she beat me in the sprint. And because she beat me, that dropped me down to 9th. Because now there were 3 of us on the same points, but the last race is the tiebreaker. Anyway, so I was 9th in the series, which is still top 10. I was really happy with that, but it's also a lot of prize money difference between 7th and 9th. But I was happy with that, also considering that I'd now raced with a potentially broken hand. Next weekend was Gravel Burn, starting 7 days, rough gravel. That was amazing. And I think that Gravel Burn was where the click happened.
Your wrist going back in, or?
My results. So I had good results. But now there were some Americans who came down to Gravel Burn.
I distinctly remember your performance there.
And now the races in the US, they would be beating me. Now I was mixing it up with them. I remember on the first stage,
in the space of just those few weeks?
I think just maybe racing against them on home ground.
Okay.
And then knowing I can mix it up with them. So
is this one of those mentality moments, like I am actually good enough?
I think so. I mean, I always knew I was good enough, but now it's like, I'm actually there.
Okay.
Because I remember that first stage of Gravel Burn, I'm now racing with still a very sore hand, a brace on my wrist. We ended up that pass and ended in, I don't know what town, terrible weather. Ashley and Axel were a bit ahead. They came first and second. And then I was racing with Melissa.
Yeah.
Melissa didn't win Leadville last year, but won Leadville the year before. Was second to Kate last year.
Okay.
Second or third overall in the Lifetime Grand Prix.
Big dog.
And now I'm racing with her. I think she started the climb a little bit ahead of me. Then I caught her, and then she kind of just sat on my wheel. And then she's like, okay, I'm still racing. I was like, cool, fair. You know, the last couple of kilometers downhill.
She told you she's still racing. You said, like, don't check this. Okay. Nice.
We had a sprint for the finish, and I ended up coming 3rd. So I was like, well, now I'm properly mixing it up with her. Why can't I do this in the US? I just need to race like I do there, or like I do at home there.
Is that being a bit more aggressive? A little bit more like,
yeah, just
bugger this, I'm gonna fucking attack.
Exactly. And just believing that I can be there. Believing I can be at the front.
Yeah.
And that's where it all really changed. And ended up having a really good Gravel Burn overall. Some really bad luck as well. But ended 3rd overall. And then basically I went to...
You rode that like someone possessed. Like there was that one really nasty looking climb, like proper chop. And I was, as a typical spectator, I'm going to do it this year, so I'll be eating my words. Because like, I want to see who unclips.
Oh, that's super rough climb.
Yeah.
Actually, that day, Melissa and I ended up like...
that fucking hard. It was crazy.
Getting away from the others, and it would have been really cool if we could stay away, but we were caught.
such a cool race to watch. It was, your racing was so exciting to watch. And I say your, female racing, which is one of the questions I'd intentionally left from earlier. Like, what is your one sentence viewpoint on where ladies racing is, generally speaking?
In South Africa or?
Global, and you can bring it back to South Africa if you want to.
Just exploding.
Commercially, financially, awareness. Everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really exciting, super aggressive.
What's driving it? What is the force behind this change?
I think just support. Like, we actually maybe getting coverage, not as much as we should, but there's equality in prize money now in the US in the Lifetime Grand Prix. I think before I did it, there wasn't a separate women's start. Now there's a separate women's start. The first year I did Unbound, it was a separate women's start, but you could still draft men, which actually messed it up for me. I lost a lot of positions because of that, just the way the race played out. But from last year, no drafting men in any of the races. So we're getting an opportunity to race like by ourselves and against each other in a completely fair way.
Okay. Locally?
Locally, I can only really speak gravel and mountain bike. Like I say, road racing is not in a great space here.
Generally speaking, yeah. I mean, you can't really rave about much.
No.
Which I think is changing, will change. The breakaway we shot this morning, with a guy named Stefan Orkamp. He's the GM of Cycle Lab, the N1, but he's also a road commissaire. So he has like very unique perspective. And he broke down, he had like literally in a notepad written out what it costs to put on, those Province Winter League races. You're talking 150 grand. The cost to put on an event.
Yeah.
And
road closure.
I think he said they're getting back on a well-attended race, 70-ish. And guys are complaining the race entry went from 320 rand to 350. Perspective we don't have. It's not a dig against people that can't afford that, but it's just like, bro, if like more people knew that, you'd go to the race, even if you don't attend the flipping thing, you just enter it so that you could get another 200 people there. Anyway, separate story for another day. But my anecdotal outside in, I don't have the depth and the history of someone that's been cycling their whole life. I'm 6 years in. So I have a different perspective to people that have seen the whole thing. But when I ride from Noordhoek to Sea Point and back, I see lots of different things. One of the things I see is 2-3 females on their own with all the mega drip from map to Panama to Chevitas, multiple colors and beautiful wavy things, and girls on their own riding their bikes, A to B, chatting, laughing, sometimes in a pace line. I haven't seen that before. Like it's a thing ladies are doing to socialize, to stay fit, to whatever.
There's a lot more women's, like ladies cycling groups.
Nuts. Southside Cycles, one reference point, but like just going out on my own, riding, I see women on bikes. I'm not used to seeing that. That to me is different. Probably very Cape Town as well. The safety, there's all sorts of things. Switchbacks, what's that race called? In Buka Big 5. That thing, I can't turn left the whole way. So every time you have to go left, clip out, swear at myself the whole way to the next one, clip out, a lady in front of me crying with laughter every single time I'm doing it. I'm just like very outwardly expressing my rage at my own self. And she's like, just tuck your left elbow in when you go around the corner. I'm like, oh, what do you know? Next one. Literally, all I did was this. Then unclip again. Every time I go, I just want to thank you so much all the way up to the top. Had a beer with her afterwards, and just, I'm not thinking while I'm there, because like most people, you're just worrying about yourself and your ride and not dying. And like, you like look up at that, and notably at trail seekers, women everywhere, rinsing men, like so much depth in, not elites, I'm just talking ladies on mountain bikes. Then you have the elite woman. Cape Epic, I think, is a very good reference point. Gravel burn, okay, there's a lot of international there. So I'm seeing competitive, I don't know what their income is like. I don't know. So that's why I ask you those questions, because I think I, like many, don't understand how difficult it is to make it as an elite. I have an inkling on some of the guys that we speak to. No one tells me what they get paid in salaries, but it's tough. I don't think there's people, many, maybe a handful in South Africa, that earn a salary that can live a life, a respectable life, contribute to a family, send a kid to school, and race bikes, and have everything covered. That's my guess. There's maybe less than 10 people that are doing that.
I think in the mountain biking scene, it's a lot more than road and gravel. Especially in the men's.
Why? Is that because of Epic? Because of
Seeker?
Because of...
Our men in South Africa are world class. I mean, from Epic this year, Tristan and Matt we've always known as world class, but Tristan now and some of the other guys getting podiums, mixing it up with the best in the world.
Yeah, literally.
So they deserve proper salaries and proper teams and support.
With what you know, do you think more is to come in terms of financial, the legitimizing of professional racing athletes in South Africa? Do you think there's likely to be more because of a double South African team win, the two South African pairing first ever, because of what you're doing? Do you think there's more of that to come?
I hope so. In the ladies racing in Epic, it's very different because the goal for now is just to get more teams racing. So this year we had a shortened Epic. I didn't like it. I want
Oh, really?
I want the proper full Epic, but I get where they're coming from.
I wouldn't have asked you that question. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay.
And it's all with UCI points and cross-country races, and actually just getting more women there is kind of the only way forward. So I agree with them, but it's sad to not do the full Epic, and I just want to have the big days, tough days, long days, and the start. I want the start
find a mixed partner and go win it.
Yeah, but you don't get as much exposure from that.
Yeah.
So for now, while I'm racing. Yeah. But I'm very grateful this year. I've now got ChemChamp and Honeycomb supporting me. So I can now call myself a professional cyclist.
So when you go to a race, it's Hayley Preen from ChemChamp Honeycomb. Okay. Honeycomb 226s.
ChemChamp Honeycomb.
Okay, that's the official team.
I think 226s. I'm very grateful they still support me, and they've been a game changer in my racing as well.
Okay. Yeah, that is, it's very difficult for many brands in our country to shout about what they do well. Like, we did this, because when people watch it, it's like, you don't get to say as ChemChamp, we're doing all these things for all these athletes, because it's like, you're tooting your own horn. And it's a tragedy. Like, I think the cycling industry, but also running and many other sporting verticals, don't throw enough praise to the brands that are lining the streets of the comrades, as an example. Yeah. It's Toyota and Thirsty all the way down. It costs them a fortune to be doing that, and it enables sport. In cycling, I am a massive advocate for, Honeycomb 226s, but very specifically Carl. He's a very unique person. He is an absolute laugh, and if you don't know him, you don't know him, but his heart is massive, and his commitment to allowing people to be able to compete at a high level is just second to none. I'm very fortunate that I've been able to see that. It irritates him as much as it does me and many other people. Like, Hayley must go and compete at that level. I want to see her at that level.
That's where my relationship with Kyle and Honeycomb started, was 2024 when I didn't get into Olympics. Kyle saw this. I had barely spoken to him beforehand, and he called me. He was like, "What is this? This is rubbish."
That sounds like Kyle.
And I was now in the US. I was absolutely broken. I didn't even want to look at a bike. Like, I was shattered. And he's trying to help, and I'm trying to say it's too late. And he's like, "Okay, we need to get you onto a team for 2025. And we were close to getting into a World Tour team. It just didn't quite happen at the end. But he was like, "Hey, if something doesn't work out, then you're racing for us in South Africa." And that's how it started.
Yeah, he's a good egg. He really is. And this is not a paid ad from 226's Carl Mitchell. This is these are conversations that don't happen often enough.
And also originally going into 2025 Lifetime Grand Prix, I was supposed to have other support for America. That fell through. Carl was like, don't worry, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, it's respect, Carl. Well done. And then ChemChamp. I've found my Zone 2 buddy for life. I met at Garden Route Giro, Juanita. She's now moved to Lakeside. So to find a Zone 2 buddy, you may be able to relate to this, is impossible, because any of the guys I ride with, the Savage crew, it becomes a half-wheeling measuring contest, and you know when you're Zone 2. I've never done a Zone 2 ride in the history of my life with a guy. And she's since moved. I met her at Garden Route Giro, and just the vibe race of the century. You get to know people, much like your connection thing. Me going there and you know one. You come back, you know 10 other people. Kylie put her in touch. We're looking, she's moved. I know you, community, blah, 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 go ride. And I see ChemChamp on her kit. Like now I'm noticing ChemChamp. I see Roxy Kemp.
Yeah.
I see ChemChamp on her kits. I see your very nasty branded vehicle, ChemChamp on their mic. What is the ChemChamp thing? Like, I don't know enough. I need to meet whoever the person is behind ChemChamp, because I'm guessing there's a similar desire, love, passion for people to do things.
My relationship with ChemChamp also started last year for gravel burn. I wasn't going to race. And then Kyle had put me in contact, and we were potentially going to do like the joint team for this year. And ChemChamp is a partner of gravel burn, like infrastructure partner. They were the ones that did all the toilet infrastructure and showers and all of that.
Kevin spoke about that. Okay.
So
okay, so that's them. Good to know.
I raced for them at Gravel Burn. So we got new kit made for Gravel Burn. And kind of ever since then.
Authors for the sport, they just love cycling and they want to see
exactly. Great things. Because they also, last year, they were a sponsor of the Mbuco team. This year they still are, but it's Toyota's specialized Mbuco ChemChamp, so they still support them.
Yeah. And Simon, I think Simon's also supported by them.
I think he raced Gravel Burn for them as well.
Yeah. They're like properly invested.
Yeah.
Like that's another prime example of someone saying, I need to meet whoever they are. I don't know who's behind this business, but I'm guessing is Daniel just like a lover of cycling?
Yes. So they've done all the epics, mountain bike races, other international epics.
Are they as rock star as I have them in my mind? Okay. Daniel, I'm coming for you. I need to meet you.
So he also raced Gravel Burn last year. So working really hard and racing. And racing for them this year, supported me at Epic, but now not only supported me and Hayley.
H squared.
Yeah. We raced under my name, which makes it much easier. And I'm just very, very grateful for their support.
If these guys don't exist, what happens? ChemChamp evaporates and Honeycomb and 226s. Like, is there a waiting list of brands that are wanting to do this, or do you how important are they really in?
They are very important.
Okay.
For now, they make my cycling possible. I have signed with Factor Racing, so Factor International Global, and that helps. And some brands in the US as well. But they're not paying my salary, and they're not paying for all my races here.
So if we want to see, as South Africans, Hayley, you, and others perform at their best level, you have to be focused. You need a livable wage and all the things that you would expect an elite athlete to have. There's no government support. We know that it's unlikely to come in the near future. These are the people that make that possible.
Yeah.
So we want to see the best of you. Yeah, it's.
And I think
I'm breaking it down and really laboring the point, because for me
that's been the big important change this year. Is so there's been a big change every year, but another big one this year is proper support, like salary, more sponsors, proper bikes.
It helps having someone that can deliver the goods though. Like, let's not make any mistakes here. Like, I hope I don't leave someone out, but if I think at the very sharp, absolute top end of our field. There's you. That's, I don't know if is there another South African at your level in global gravel for us? Like really? I'm like not trying to overly blow horns. And then there's privateer, but very supported, Candace is
mountain biking.
Absolute beast. There are other exceptional talents, and then obviously Tyler
there's Tyler as well,
who's in
mountain biking.
at the factory racing.
Yeah.
I'm talking like really sharp end of the field. And then if we think men, there's Munson, there's
the men, there's a lot more. There's
more, but also like the absolute top end of the field.
Yeah.
Other than if we look World Tour, we've got Munson and
Stefan,
mountain bike champion. I'm blanking now.
Alan.
Alan Hathley. Matt and Stefan.
Yeah.
There are others.
And I would say
Massimiliano, my favorite name of anyone I've ever interviewed. So there's like lots of stuff happening. There is definitely shoot-throughs, but like in terms of delivering top 10 results.
Yeah. Are up there. They're just not necessarily racing internationally.
Yeah, and speaking to many of them, it's that cost barrier, it's the visa barrier, there's so many things. Thank you for humoring that part of it, because I think that context is, I feel obliged, I feel it has to be spoken about for anyone that's listened this long into the podcast. Like we need to hear those things, one, to show appreciation to the brands that are making these things possible, supporting athletes to go and do this thing abroad. Because what is a 5-year-old going to be inspired by? A teenager? Like you need to see Hayley on the podium at the Lifetime Grand Prix for a little girl to be inspired. Like, I want to be like her, Mom.
And I think, like for me, the biggest thing is just showing commitment. The first year, I wasn't in the top 10 in the Lifetime Grand Prix, but I knew it will take time. You're not going to go there and get results straight away. Like, it's so different to South Africa. It's just also being away from home, a whole lot of different factors. And then last year, kind of seeing a breakthrough, but then still, like, it was still tough. And now this year, I got the top 10 at Unbound, which I was really happy with. And now just, I need to learn from last year's Leadville for this year's Leadville to hopefully better last year's results. And just,
I want to talk about this last Unbound, because that was...
Can I just say it was stupid? I mean, it's great.
Is that it? It's just bonkers.
Yes.
Was it that diabolically muddy and terrible the whole way, or was it a segment that they just filmed a lot of, or was it literally that shit the whole way?
Like the first 20 Ks, maybe good.
Okay. And then just dog shit.
Then the mud started, you take off your glasses, and then after that, can't see for the next 300 kilometers. And then, mud, rain, more rain, then stop by a train.
Toughest race of your life?
And then torrential rain, and then get cold because of the rain, stopping.
That train is hilarious.
60 minutes.
It's not hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was myself and Sarah, we were the first two to get there.
Oh, so you had
And we were the chase. And then by the time we left there were like 8 ladies. So it was great for the other ladies who caught us, just free time.
Yeah, that says a lot about how much further up you could have gone, right?
But like only one of the ladies who wasn't with us, Lauren, she caught us at that time. She ended up beating me. Everyone else was, I think, that was the race.
Is that the toughest race of your life?
Maybe, yes. I mean, also last like 80, 90 kilometers into a headwind when now it's hot as well.
Must have been diabolical. How did you're riding, what model factor?
I'm still on the older factor, so I don't even have transmission yet on my gravel bike.
Maybe a good thing.
I had 45C tires front and rear.
Okay. That's quite lean for what we're seeing.
Yeah, the 45 in the rear I had new wheels and made it a little bit wider, was maybe a little bit too wide.
Okay.
For the mud.
What's the official tire clearance on that bike? 50?
No, on the back like 45. It was tight.
Okay.
On the front I'm now running a 50. I race gravel nationals with a 50 on the front.
With space for some mud?
Yeah.
Okay.
There would still be some more
I
space,
think we've
but you
all
just,
seen the prototype that's coming.
I'm waiting for that.
Like front fork, you can fit a car tire in there.
Hayley raced that.
And any feedback?
Well, she also raced that at Tracker. It looks amazing. I saw it in person for the first time at Unbound.
Can I ask a quick, tires is like the sub conversation of gravel is tires. What are your views? 2.1s, 2.2s, wider is better?
I think to a point. I think I'm happy with 50.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine gravel burn. What is the right tire combo for gravel burn?
Gravel burn is rough. Maybe bigger there.
Really? That much rougher, huh?
I put on a 50 for gravel burn on the front.
And, okay.
Yeah, but a 50 strong tire for, I think, the last 2 or 3 stages when it was really rough.
Okay. I think this year might be a
little bit smoother.
A little bit smoother. Rumors, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that stage 6 was super rough.
Okay.
The one we rode
chunky
in
stuff.
neutral. I wouldn't have liked to race down there, but I think that's out of it.
Okay. One thing that you can't deny is that Kevin will listen to feedback.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I love that race.
How would you, I mean, again, privileged that you can have this perspective. I have this eternal outlook that South Africa is just the best thing in the world and everyone needs to come here and experience how magnificent we are. I truly believe that we have world-class gravel and that we deserve, we're entitled to being a big destination as far as global gravel is concerned, as the desire to compete in this grows. I know certainly Dryland and Kevin and his team have that viewpoint as well. They're hedging big bets. I mean, these things they've put on are not small investments. What's your viewpoint on that?
I think off-road racing in South Africa is incredible. Obviously, I've experienced a lot in the US. It's very different. Our racing is super rough. I mean, they'll call like a tiny bit of rock, like super chunky technical section. Like, that's our whole race here. But I think that's kind of what it's about.
Do you think that's our advantage or disadvantage? Like if you brought 50 of your mates from America, yeah, and they came and rode it, do you think they'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go back? Or like, no?
I think the corrugation at Gravel Burn last year killed a lot of them. And they were like,
corrugation sucks.
and I think they said that needs to be fixed for them to come back.
Okay.
Because that is, I mean, like I said, I think we maybe had 2 kilometers of corrugation and 330 kilometers of Unbound.
See, the thing is, it can be fixed. There's no, unless there's some extreme circumstance, there shouldn't be. It's like, get a grade out and just fix it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think which one it is. Is it Stanford that is known to have corrugation? I won't enter the race. Like, I won't.
Oh, Stanford, yes.
A race that is, where it's like,
Stanford's beautiful.
There's a long 20K
yeah, I love that race.
corrugation. So, cool, I'm not going. Like, I'm not interested.
Sand.
Because I've ridden
We have
from
some special gravel races.
George back to Cape Town twice now. I own self-navigated gravel tours with people that are all stronger than me. Dean Opp, Tony, Chloe Bishop. Like, I'm just getting absolutely annihilated for 6 days. And I don't have any recollection of like long sections of corrugation. 361, moments of it. Garden Route Giro. On the last day, maybe a couple, like nothing long. I'm a complete baby when it comes to corrugation. Like,
Good
I'm
luck
out.
for Gravel Burn.
And that's, so like it's there. It's possible to not have corrugation and do a race because it ruins it for everyone. It's not like a chunky, technical, rocky, loose section, like a VAR-putt type thing is fine. That's technical. That's a different thing. That's entertaining, stretching your abilities. Corrugation's just shit. That's just a road that hasn't been graded. Like, it doesn't need to be there. It serves no purpose. It adds nothing to a race. Just remove it. Like, it mustn't be there. It's like, no corrugation. It's unacceptable.
I think stage 2 or 3 of Gravel Burn last year, so rough. Like 20 kilometers straight.
No, there's not going to be corrugation. I'm really, there's not going to be corrugation this year. There's going to be like none. There can't be. Then I'm calling in the Hilux support vehicle. Like, no. You going to be there this year?
100%. I actually got my entry in yesterday.
Okay. Rad.
I'll be there with ChemChamp again.
ChemChamp, I need to meet these guys. What is your future aspirations? Like, what's the Lulu? I'm going to go for it. I mean, I have an idea what it might be, but and then
Olympics.
What? Okay.
But a big goal this year was also to...
What at Olympics? Road race?
Road.
Okay.
I'm not a time trial specialist. I've won time trial nationals, but I'm not a specialist. But yeah, and I can't race cross country. I don't race cross country. So road. It's in LA. I've already got my American visa. But
know some people.
Yeah, that's a big goal. But a big goal this year was also to win Marathon Nationals. That's the one title I hadn't won. And I got that.
Congrats.
So now all my kit is white for this year between African and National, which was really cool. But yeah, I think I'm loving the off-road racing actually for now. I'm really well supported in it and I'm up there with the best. So
domination on the...
See where that takes me.
Can we, assuming all the support stays in place, is it likely to assume you'll be racing that the Lifetime Grand Prix is like your fundamental foundation of what a season is built around?
I think so. It could also change. Things are changing in the road race scene where there will be gravel points and gravel points will count towards road. So there'll be more overlap.
Okay.
I've already seen it with some ladies like Axel racing for EF. She races some off-road and Rosa Klaasse as well. Racing for Canyon SRAM on the road and Canyon, I don't know, off-road. So I think we'll see more of that, which...
Okay, so you still have a foot in that road world. You've got unfinished business there.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't expect that. I thought that's like so last season.
I'm still deciding, but yeah, I really am loving the off-road season or like off-road racing, and mountain biking. Like I love racing the Cape Epic.
Okay.
And you can't necessarily do that if you're racing purely focused on the road. But I might have to step away from maybe mountain biking and just do gravel and road, or not 100% sure yet.
God, that's exciting. That means there's some...
I've also got big dreams with
exclamation and question marks there. Oh, tell me the big dream for Epic.
Well, I would love to
only be one thing.
I would love to win Epic sometime. I just, need to find
I mean, you know what we need as South Africans, obviously. Like, come on we've got the mail at last. That's history. Like, you'll never be able to take that away. And I know from enough conversations, Oaks are like, we need the woman.
So Candice won this year. But in the past, I've always been a very awkward level of mountain biking, I would say. I'm not Candice's level to win Cape Epic, but then I'm above the rest of them. So just to find...
Is there ever a world the two of you would race it together? I mean, I have to ask. I don't know. I don't know how this works. Okay.
Potentially. But
oh, please leave that out into the ether. You know how much speculation there was ahead of the last one on just peloton banter, like who will the pairings be, and especially when the fortuitous gap opened up for beers to be accompanied, and now everyone is just operating on this assumption, like they're going to just be together next year. Like that's not how this works. Like remember, he has an official other teammate. It's like, but now we've got to rack up like the Springboks. We've got to rack up a few World Cups here, right? And the immediate next conversation was, wait a minute, it's a South African one. There's this other South African that knows how to ride a bike too. Imagine, and we have to dream. Male and female South African pair wins the next Epic. Come on.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a dream. It was a kind of a goal this year, but podium was a big goal this year. I've been up there for a couple of years now. Okay. Maybe moving my way up.
I would love to see everyone in the comments give how much they would love to see that pairing come together. I haven't met Candice yet. I've seen her at an event. That's about it. She lives just over here when she is here. When I meet her, because I absolutely have to
I would still need to get onto her level for mountain biking.
I'm 100% like, we have to dream for a South African pairing. I don't know what that does for South Africans worldwide if we win something like Epic as a South African pairing, but I can't imagine it's not a good thing. Anyway, that is a very exciting point.
But I can't do it all, so I need to choose at some point. I can't.
Well, not yet. I mean, you're doing it all for now. Like,
Yeah.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. You're still young. You can do it all. You can narrow further down the road.
Also,
because we're all really enjoying the show.
I've never won cycle tour.
Oh no, come on! You have to put that on.
I've come second, so close, and I was pretty much in a photo finish with Kim.
Yeah.
The 1 year. But it's the one race I haven't won.
Oh, come on, Eddie. You got to give us a cycle tour. That'll be so awkward if you win Epic with Candice and don't have a cycle tour. Don't do that to us. As a local Cape Townian,
I know.
Not do the right thing.
And it's been the race I've always done. I love that race.
Yeah.
But it's not the perfect race for me.
It's cool that you're as good as you are and that's eluded you. That gives it
well, because
cool.
I mean, here it's like the world champs of Cape Town, but
DC cycle tour. It's
I would also actually love to sometime race DC in a men's team and win. Because I've won ladies team, I've won mixed team.
When you're ready for that, just phone me. DC is church. It is
I love
Mecca.
DC.
It is whatever you want to call it.
Unfortunately, this year clashes with Rye Joburg.
The year, yeah, I mean, don't even get me started on that idiotic planning to put two. There's no road racing.
And maybe if
let's ruin it by putting both on.
Rye Joburg was on the Saturday and DC was on the Sunday, I would try to do both because I do crazy things.
I mean, there's enough weeks in the year that those two could figure that out.
I can't do DC the day before Rye Joburg.
Yeah, that is a big race.
It's a big race, big prize money.
Align the stars that when Hayley wants to do the mixed team thing, that I'm still as frothy.
No, but it mustn't be a mixed team. It must be a men's team. Win overall.
Oh, win as overall men.
Yeah.
Oh, then you just.
So I would just have to hang on.
Then you just need to call up the Road Warriors or Hussey. Hussey and them are your best bets. That is.
But I would have to hang on for dear life and get help from them. But that would be super cool too.
I think majority of people in that team hang on for dear life and get help to see it.
Yeah, okay, but then that's a problem. Then I'm gonna be bleeding to stay with them.
My days. I hope you're in town when they're busy doing their pre-DC Super Froth sends here in Cape Town, and we can get a chain gang together. I mean, I won't be there. I'll have to get like a scooter to come and ride and watch it. I would literally just get a scooter just to ride and to see that.
Racing against guys. And
I can't imagine how cool that must be too.
Also, another goal is sub-9 on Chappies.
Sure. That's
I think
probably
I've got
the
19 seconds.
That's probably the most aspirational thing I think I've heard. That's
I think
tough.
I can do it.
You reckon?
Yeah.
How much did you have left in the tank on your 919? Was it a flat box effort, perfect conditions?
Much hard. No, not perfect conditions. Also, no, we had this whole plan of a lead out with ECC. It was a massive ride, but then I started in the back, and people just got in the way, and
you got to be third wheel.
It was almost I think I had one or two people. But
there's only a handful of people.
But also they weren't
to go
on the same page. So sometimes they start going a bit hard, and then I'll kind of be closing the gap. So if I have
you can look inside your own stable and just go and ask Pritzham, because he had,
I have.
And even he was saying that that pacing was extremely surgy. So it's like my personal belief is you need like a 3-person. You need to be third wheel, and you need literally
also when I get back to one,
like a Felix.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine you did it with gravel tires on. 40 more gravel tires. That would be so controversial and completely decimate.
Get back into top 10 in the men's leaderboard. Don't think I'm top 10 anymore.
Yeah, it got very, very exciting this year. We spoke about it at length and ruffled a lot of feathers. And a lot of people came out with like, oh, sub 10's easy, and got humbled. So yeah, there were a couple. There's a lot of good weather days though. I'll say that as well. And there's a very good cohesion on the guys that are getting those.
But I think there's a big difference between sub 10 and even then like sub 930.
Yeah. I mean, that's my personal like stretch goal would be a sub 930. That's 18 seconds I've got to shave off, and I have nothing left to give on mine. Nothing. Like I couldn't have gone better. I couldn't have had better weather. I couldn't have had better group. So yeah, we all have our little goals.
Sometime I'll do
Let me
it.
know when you're going to do yours, so I can get my little inferior team alongside yours to line up on the day. Hayley, it's been an absolute treat having you. I knew I'd enjoy this, but not as much as I have. It's been absolutely delightful. Thank you for being such an immense inspiration to everyone in the cycling scene in South Africa. It's just amazing to see you performing at the level you are, and giving brands something to be excited about, to get behind, to support. You're an incredibly impressive woman, and I just wish you every success on the way forward. And I'm so grateful you had the bit of time that you had to come and chat to us.
Yeah,
Like, it really
couple of
means a
weeks,
lot.
before I go back to the US.
So we can do a follow-on.
Yeah.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you. And good luck.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.